Hello everyone and welcome to a new weekly market outlook video. As always, let's start with looking at the economic calendar, the Ponzi one. My apologies for last week when we discussed CPI, because without my knowledge CPI has been moved to the week ahead and I had no idea. So this week we're gonna focus on CPI, and yes, it is happening this week on Friday, 8:30 New York time. So that's the only big news event that's gonna happen for the USD. There will be other news events, as you can see, tomorrow for the Canadian dollar and also on Friday during the London session for the Euro and GBP. But my full attention will go to CPI for the US dollar on Friday. If you want to trade Forex, then on Wednesday during the London session, cable is also really interesting to watch because there will be CPI for GBP as well on Wednesday. What we've all been waiting for, the charts. Let's move over to the charts. When we see what's happened last week, if you can see, we mentioned before that we have here the daily balance price range on the DXY. We traded into it. I still thought last week that I expected us to trade higher to the buy side liquidity over here, but what happened next last week is we created a cracking correlation here at the highs inside the balance price range on the daily time frame, on the 4-hour time frame over here. So what we did is we created a lower high on the DXY. What usually happens then on the Euro and the GBP is, if you can see over here, when the DXY makes a lower high, the Euro should make a higher low and the GBP as well. But this is unfortunately not the case, or unfortunately it is not the case. So what's happened after that? We've had a huge cracking correlation inside a high time frame PD array, and we've been reversing ever since. So what I expect for now is we've had this crack here in the high time frame PD array, and I actually expect us now to trade lower into the sell side liquidity pool below here at around 97.4 for the DXY. Because for me this looks like a clear market maker sell model. We've had accumulation here, accumulating higher at the manipulation higher into the high time frame PD array, created a cracking correlation, smart money reversal happened after, and we've been trading lower after that. So for now my eyes will be on the sell side liquidity below here. Also really interesting to see if any other cracks will happen to the downside. I will be looking for lower time frame cracks as well. And as for the Euro, it's exactly the opposite. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Also interesting to see, sometimes there's no cracking correlation between the highs and lows of candles, but there will be with the bodies. And what I mean with that is when we turn off the wicks in here, you can see that on the Euro USD fiber we made a lower low here if we look at only the bodies, while at DXY for the same highs that were the lows on Euro, but it's inversely correlated, we create a lower high. So that's also another cracking correlation, because usually when the Euro makes a lower low, the DXY should make a higher high and vice versa. But that's not what happened here. We traded into this 4-hour inverse fair value gap on DXY, and we've been trading lower ever since. Let's turn on the wicks because the charts look so weird without it. My draw on liquidity, as I mentioned last week, for the Euro was lower, and still I think like the sell side liquidity below here is something really obvious where price will reach towards. Like we've sell side liquidity below the last week's lows as well over here. There's a lot of liquidity below here. Below that the high time frame PD array, the daily balance price range. So yeah, whenever something obviously bearish happens, I will be definitely shorting the Forex markets, the USD pairs. But for now the order flow is bullish. We've created a crack here with the GBP and we've been trading higher, trading off this inverse fair value gap over here as well. So buy side liquidity is the most obvious liquidity to get taken now, but if something bearish, something clearly bearish happens, I will be shorting, because this drawn liquidity over here is too obvious for me. Then if we move over to crypto markets have been really volatile over the last few weeks. Like if you can see, we went straight up, straight down, last week again straight down. A lot of volatility happened, like the whole price range from here to here was like like 21.5k. That's the range between this low here and this high over here. More than over 23k, over 22k. So what's been happening in the crypto markets, this move up on crypto was pure manipulation. Like we manipulated higher, all people FOMO'd in, thought like Bitcoin is gonna go to 150k, it's going up. This was all manipulation. Created a SMT here at the highs, because if you see here, we have the higher high here on Bitcoin. If you move over to Ethereum, we have the lower low over here, but if we the lower high, if we compare the same highs. So there's the SMT, we've had the manipulation. After that, we've been reversing lower, and we took the sell side out below here. Now, at this current moment, we create another cracking correlation over here at the lows. Lower low on Bitcoin over here, inside this daily fair value gap. Really beautiful reaction from there. So it's really interesting for me to see what's going to happen next, because this is, for me, it's a beautiful cracking correlation inside the higher time frame PD array, same as we saw here for the DXY, like a smart money technique SMT inside the daily balanced price range. For crypto happens the same, but in a daily fair value gap. So it's interesting to see what will happen next, because my bias is overall bearish because of this crack over here and the the displacement lower that followed after that. But still we have this crack over here now, and if you see Ethereum, there's this buy side liquidity over here that's really tempting to take for me. Like we have buy side liquidity above this high, above this high, above this high at all-time highs, and at the 5k level, and that's something I want to see. I want to see Ethereum trade higher from here, so let's see if that's possible, let's see if it's gonna happen. I'm very curious. And then last but not least, gold. Gold has been creating new higher highs again. It's been insane. This is the weekly chart. If you move over to the daily chart, there's nothing special to see here. An interesting fact is that for Hydra funding, previous week our highest profitable trade was made on gold, and it was a short, because one of our clients got 10.5k in profit from a short on gold in this bullish price move. So that's also a sign that you don't have to be right regarding your bias. Whether you're bullish or bearish, you still can make money in the opposite direction. So that's something to keep in mind. For now, for gold, I won't be looking for anything to happen, like silver as well at all-time highs. We're still in no man's land. I need more structure if I want to trade anything. I really like sell side liquidity over here, like it's really been building, but there's no way we're gonna drop down to take it all out at once. Because the overall market structure is still really bullish. So if anything happens, gun to my head, I would say we would still be creating new higher highs on the gold and silver markets. So let's see what will happen. Thank you all for watching. It's a little bit a longer one than usual. I'll see you in the next one, and take care.